Hey guys, Jeff Cheesehead Flipper here. So, we are now in fourth quarter. Very early fourth quarter, just the start of October here. And, well, you don't stop preparing for fourth quarter just because we're technically in fourth quarter. We're going to continue to prepare. All we're doing today is I ordered a whole bunch of bubble wrap. I actually got two different sizes, the other one's down here because they're too tall to fit up here. And we're going to create a bubble wrap dispenser underneath our photo booth here. So it's going to hang down. Now, I have a few ideas. I don't know if they're going to work, but we're going to try to figure something out. My primary thing I'm thinking, so I'm going to take some chain, get this at any hardware store, you know, Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot, whichever one you want. Now I'm going to hang it down, then I'm going to put it through these little elbows, kind of so it can hang down, go through the elbows, come across. I'm going to cut this to length for one, put my little piece in here, and put the other size over here. Cut that to length, boom, put another elbow on there. Now you can use pretty much any size you want. I have 1/2-inch PVC pipe here, pretty darn cheap. I think this is going to work. I'm going to have to cut it down, install it, and we'll see. I might try something here with doing like some time lapse or something, or you might just see bits and pieces. We'll see how it turns out, and you'll be just as surprised as I am. So why am I buying bubble wrap? Ordered mine from American Bubble Boy. They're not a sponsor. I've never used their product before, so I don't have a review on the product yet because it's still wrapped up here. But I will tell you, I did find their price to be very reasonable, and the shipping to be really nice and fast. But I don't want to rely on that shipping when we're hardcore into fourth quarter. So I bought it now to prepare. So let's see if I can figure this out. Alright, so here are the two sizes I went with. I got the 24-inch medium bubble. Then I got the 12-inch small plus bubble. Now, the small one is going to be really good for more things, like they're going to be like in poly bags, small items. So for most of the sellers, this is probably all you're going to need. But occasionally, I do sell some pretty big items that need a little bit extra protection because they're kind of heavy. So that's why I went with the 12-inch medium. Now, I have used this stuff in the past. Usually, before this, my bubble wrap, all of it that I used to always get, I got out of dumpsters. I got from items that I ordered from other people. So I never really purchased bubble wrap. And I started getting to the issue here recently as my volume is increasing, where I couldn't efficiently source my bubble wrap. Where I couldn't list things because I didn't have bubble wrap. I had to wait till either I found some bubble wrap or I, just didn't list it. So I was being very, very inefficient by being cheap. Yes, this is an outlay of money. Yes, this is an extra expense, but you know what? When you're running a business, this is a business expense that is tax deductible. And honestly, it's going to make my process so much more streamlined and better that it's going to more than pay for itself. So what we're going to do, this first one here, come out. It does look like it is going to be just perfect size for the 24-inch. So I did buy the 24-inch PVC pipe. So that one's going to be perfect. The other one, however, I'm going to have to probably cut that one in half. Because, as you can see, it's a little bit too big. Plus the two together won't really fit underneath of my area here. These two should just fit underneath here just about right. So we're going to go cut this one. Oh, I thought I'd also let you know is that if you get this one, if you're wondering how big of pipe can I go with, it's about a 3-inch diameter inside here. I don't know if all bubble wrap manufacturers are the same or not. I had no idea, so I went with the smaller stuff. I think this is going to be just fine too. don't need to be tight. You actually don't want it tight. It'll be difficult to change them out. So I want it kind of loose. You could probably also do just the chain hanging down. I've seen some people do that, or they'll do it from like the ceiling. I'm currently renting, so I'm not going to try to do it any more than ceiling than I already did. I did put some lights up, but I did get approval for that. I don't know how they'll feel about me putting that up, even though it'll probably be pretty similar, but down here is going to work better for me. So I'm going to go cut this pipe. We'll be back. Alright, so that actually went pretty well. Cut it out down side, just use a little hacksaw here. I do make a specialty tool that is made for cutting PVC pipe. But projects like this, you can make one, maybe two cuts at the most. So honestly, I felt that was not really neither necessary. I already own this guy, so why spend more? He got the job done just fine. It's not super clean, like I don't think that would win any awards, but for our purposes, it works out just fine. So now we're going to put this together, then pieces, and then we're going to go to the next step, which is going to be to see about attaching the chain. And so now we got our pipe in place. We're just going to thread the chain through. Pretty simple process here. Find an end, which is usually the hardest part of this. Luckily, I found mine pretty quick. Yes. Drop her in there. The weight of the chain will do the work for you. Put about half through. And then we're going to put the other elbow on. And one thing I kind of would like to do, which is a little more complex, so I decided not to do it, was to have each part be able to move independently. But I think this will be a little more sturdy with them connected. And I think the rolls themselves will move just fine on their own. And putting that other elbow on, so now we got push it. Don't forget to give your a good squishing together so it stays sturdy. Now I also do have some PVC glue, but I'm not going to use that. I'm going to put together like this, see how it works. If I end up thinking I needed PVC glue, like it doesn't hold together, then I'll apply that. But especially this early stage where I'm not 100% sure on if this is exactly what I want, I'm going to leave my options open without the glue. Alright, so we're going to put this back through, and then we're going to mount it. Okay, so I got it threaded through. Got the two chains here, so it can kind of spin independently. Now we're going to hang this underneath of my photo booth here. So I'm going to change the camera angles, and we'll get that going. By the way, if you haven't seen my photo booth, it was a while ago I did it. I had someone assisting me with it, so we don't have really a play-by-play building of it. But I'll put the video up here somewhere here that goes to how I built this photo booth. Just a couple 2x4s and a couple pieces of planking from a hardware store. Alright, so now let's attach it. Alright, so down here we have the underside of the table. And in order to hang this under here, I'm going to use these little clips. They're kind of, I've always kind of considered them like for hanging like cups or something like that. I did use them on my lights up above, but I used white ones up there because the white ceiling's white, and kind of figured after I move out, I'm just going to leave them there. Maybe no one will notice. But here I don't care. These were $1 cheaper, so I went with the brass colored ones. Now the reason why I'm going with a hook instead of like directly screwing or nailing this in is I want to be able to adjust the height of this chain to whatever suits me. Like as I use it, maybe I'll need to adjust it up or down. If I get a larger or smaller roll of bubble wrap in the future, I want to be able to quickly and easily move this to accommodate whatever size I get. So all I have to do, lift that little flap, put in there. Now I do recommend the ones with this little flap. It does help keep them from bouncing off. But if you have just regular hook, I guess you can make that work. Maybe put them in an angle like this versus like this, if you do that. So let's get these in place and see how she's hanging. Alright, so one little tip I kind of thought of, well, at this stage of it, is make sure that you put it under, before you screw these guys in, put your bubble wrap under here, kind of pick it up and kind of see where it's going to go. Then see where the best place to put your hooks in are. So for me, my hooks are going to go right up here. Okay, so another helpful hint is if you're going into some hardwood like I'm going into right here, it can make screwing in like those little cup hooks a lot easier if you do something, if you pre-drill your hole a little bit. So make sure that the drill bit you use is smaller than the diameter of what you're screwing in. Because if it's the same size or bigger, then this won't have anything to grip onto. But if you put a small drill hole in there, it makes it much easier to screw this guy in, and it'll be just as strong if you strong-armed it into here. If you don't have a drill to do this with, you can do it by hand, pushing and turning, but it is kind of a beast. So let's get this guy drilled in here. Alright. Alright, got that side drilled. So now let's put this guy in here and turn it. Goes in pretty nice and easy here. Well, easier when you're not trying to talk to the camera. Alright, now we got that attached. I've already went ahead and attached on the other side. So all we need to do now is bring the chain up. And we're going to do it right probably about here. Now it's okay if the chain moves on us a little bit, because we can tighten it up when we do the other half. Now we're going to come over to this half. There's the other one that I put up. Now this is the one that gets a little bit tricky, because you have to adjust a little bit more. Alright, now we're going to bring this out. So this is another reason also why I like these hooks. Because now I need to adjust this size up. Alright, so this is the finished product. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? You know, I got the big bubble wrap over here, small bubble wrap over here. So now after I take photos of my items up right up here, a lot of times, especially bigger items that need more special handling, I'm definitely usually pre-pack those as I take the photos. Now I do talk about why I do that in a different video. I'll try to put up here if I remember. But basically, when I have time to list, I have time to pack. I don't always have time to properly pack something before I ship it. So that's why I do that. And this is looking pretty good. You just reach down, pull it out. Look at they are moving independently of each other. So that's pretty nice. A little bit of movement on that one when I roll it back up, but not much. So I'm quite pleased with this, how it turned out. Now, you don't have to put this underneath of, you know, some big honking photo table like this. You can take this same design, which by the way, I can't remember the exact cost of this because I bought these parts about 2 weeks ago and just got too busy to film this. But I do know that chain, the hooks, and the PVC pipe was $10 or less, or pretty darn close to that. So, very affordable way to do your bubble wrap. And honestly, you probably don't even need that PVC pipe in there. I do prefer it because it helps hold the chain steady and gives something that's not the chain for them to rotate on. But if you're really in a pinch, even some rope you can use some rope. But I do recommend the chain with the PVC pipe. It's really cheap and easy and does a great job. You can attach this to underneath of a desk, you attach it up to the ceiling, like above your shipping station, below it, anywhere. It doesn't have to be here. You can do this anywhere. But man, this is going to be nice. This is going to really help me get prepared for fourth quarter even better. Something I always do. I always like to improve things. So what do you guys think of this? Do you like it? Let me know in the comments down below. Alright guys, so I'm really enjoying this. It's good. What do you guys think of it? How do you think it turned out? I'm quite pleased with it, with the results. Do you guys do something like this for your bubble wrap? How do you do your bubble wrap? You know, before this, you should see my old bubble wrap system. It was this box with whatever random scraps that I would find. Now I'm probably going to keep a box of random scraps because, you know, this is still a good bubble wrap. It's because it's been used once, doesn't mean I'm going to throw it out. But now I don't have to wait for this box to fill up with the proper piece of bubble wrap to list and ship my items. Increases efficiency. When you're more efficient, you make more money. So that's why I'm investing in this. So, guys, seriously, Q4 is here. I know it probably started slow for some of you, but for a lot of us, it's starting to pick up already. Before we know it, it's going to get going like crazy. Like, I already did my 10 listings today. That's my goal. Do 10 listings 5 days a week. I'm doing an Amazon shipment. My goal is one every 2 weeks, but I might try to stretch that to one every week. Depends on how much I can get out the source with my job. We'll see. And I'm going to continue making these improvements until we start getting to the point where I can't keep up with making these improvements anymore. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this, quarter four prep series I'm doing. Because, I love improving processes. That's what I always do. I improve. I find out a weakness in a process, identify how to overcome that process, then implement it. Then you review, and you continue the cycle over and over and over. You should never be stagnant in your business. You always need to be analyzing your business. So tonight, after you're done watching this video, think of one weakness you have in your business. Then think, how can you fix that weakness? Implement that change. And after you've done it for about a month or so, sit down and review how well that's working. And then how can you improve it even more? And keep on doing those cycles over and over and over and over of reanalyzing. So, guys know what I always say. Keep on selling, keep on listing. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.